Good morning. I kind of want to continue Splatoon, but I am realizing that I need to what's it called? Do the Hildibrand quests, because it's one of the things that I need requires one of the blue mage spells I need requires the duty that is found in the Hildibrand quests. So, I believe I need to take the next Hildibrand quests. The Science of Deduction. Eastern Thanalan 1016. Okay, it's up there. Also, I finally got the best mount in the game. Makes me so happy. Though I hate how the saddle clips through my clothes. I'm never gonna unsee that. I just gotta view myself from an angle where that doesn't matter. I'm just gonna pile it around like this. Perchance you are curious about the duelist's declared target? It so happens that I have identified the weapon in question. This treaty blade is part of an Ishgardian noble's collection, or was, I should say. No, it has not yet been stolen. It has been purchased by an Uldan collector, the wife of a wealthy merchant living in Vesper Bay. Suffice it to say, I would be remiss if my duties as a reporter were I to not investigate her, and should the duelist strike while I am present, well, I hope I needn't explain what golden opportunity that would be. Integrating myself with her may prove to be the greatest challenge, though. I'm told she is a difficult woman to please. Fortunately, I'm also told she has a fondness for rare flowers, the sort of a Tututsi, the sort Tututsi and Camp Drybone sells. You can come along if you'd like. Also, let me double check audio levels. Push this back up to like 40 or so. Feeling you couldn't resist the pull of a good story. Since you're here, why don't you choose the Arc Lavender to buy, the Aetheric Lavender to buy. Here, miss. Thank you for your patronage. Was it your love for money? Was it for love or money that you killed him? It was you? Have you gone mad? It was an Amalja arrow in his back. I don't know how to shoot a bow. Amalja don't shoot fleeing on our merchants. They capture and temper them. Not that you are the victim make for convincing merchants. If you're going to misrepresent yourself, put some effort into it. Wear gloves for God's sakes, or at least don't wave your hands in front of my face. Calluses on your fingers betray you as a veteran archer. Doubtless you used your skills to great effect 5 years ago, as did your partner. So again, I ask, was it because he took you for, took from you your share, or your sister? You don't touch a man's kin. He knew that, and yet he... Damn, I thought he did it for the money. You two, Damn, I thought he did it for the money. You two, he's all yours. Thank you for the help, Inspector. He's competent, but when did investigating crimes become such a popular profession? It's not his job, you know. He just likes doing it. He belongs to one of Ishgard's high houses. Some say he's a baron. Not at all like the buffoon Hildibrand, don't you think? I try not to think about Hildibrand. We should get going. Lady Drulita will not take kindly to wilted flowers. I could have just gone to Limsa and taken the ferry. Again, as I told the last 20 who came before, you have come looking for work. If you're coming looking for work, you're too late. And even if I were in need of additional security, I would not deign to hire a common adventurer. Now remove yourself from my sight before I have you removed. Do you really think I can be so easily manipulated? Present the right gift, speak the magic words, and you will earn my respect? What's more, a flower's beauty is fleeting. The value which beauty transcends the boundaries of time, everlasting, enduring, unchanging, like mine. Now get out. Forgive us, Lady Drulita. We mean no disrespect. We're afraid that you would not hear our warnings otherwise. A notorious violent thief is plotting to steal the treaty blade. You fools! I shall come to collect the collector's blade. To claim the collector's blade? Yes, I read the Mithril Eye. I know full well of whom you speak, and it's none of your concern. I have a legion of guards at my disposal. Should he try, I will have him seized, or worse. And even if by some miracle he should succeed, he will not escape my wrath, for I have retained the services of a certain gentleman. Ah, but you may see for yourself, like every piece in my collection, he has been chosen with the utmost care. Now look upon my peerless inspector, interlopers, and despair. Ships pass in the night. A signal shown in the darkness. A lady cries out for a guardian, and a gentleman must needs oblige. I swear to you now, I, Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, shall neither slumber nor sleep until the fiend who covets the treaty blade is brought to justice. Good sir, what brings you here? Are you come in pursuit of the duelist as well, or perchance in pursuit of me? As if I would spend a single gil on an insufferable, incompetent... To be fair, you are not spending a single gil on me. The chance to investigate such an intriguing case is payment enough. Preemptive declarations of criminal intent are hardly in vogue. I'm sorry I'm late. Busy solving a murder. Baradian, consulting inspector, at your service, my lady. Briardane? 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 How am I supposed to pronounce his name? Conniving inspector. Consulting inspector. Rotting fish and saltpeter. Hildibrand Manderville and Nashu Macakraka, I presume? I don't know how to pronounce his name. Two rank amateurs playing at a profession of which they know not. Call me when you finish with these wastrels. You see, I do not want nor need your help. Briardane is more than capable of overseeing the transfer. Now get out, all of you. Where have you been, Maria? And where's my vase? There was a strange flying thing, and the vase, I dropped it into the water. I was so... That vase once belonged to the royal house of Thorn. Do you have any idea how much it was worth? You will go back out right outside right now and search for that vase, and you are not to return until you find it. Do I make myself clear? My lady, pray allow me to go in the girl's stead. It is not safe, for she herself spoke of a ferocious wild beast. With my unmatched investigative skills, I shall swiftly locate and recover the missing vase, thereby earning your respect, at which point you will gladly grant me permission to investigate the thieving duelist. Verily, 'tis a plan fiendishly clever in its intricacies. Not when spoken aloud. Miss Maria, would you be so kind as to tell me exactly what happened? Picked up the vase in Ul'dah, like Mother said, and I was on my way home. I was crossing the bridge, and then a flying thing came. I got scared, so I ran. When I stopped, it was gone. But so was the vase. I think I dropped it in Nafika's wells. I want to go and look, but there were scary-looking things down there. I'm afraid to go alone. You are not alone, Miss Maria. We shall go together and look for the vase, all 5 of us. All 4 of you. I'm going after Inspector Briardane. If the duelist strikes, I mean to be there. But Miss Ellie, how can you ignore the plight of a young girl for the sake of a story? Because that's my job, you imbecile. Well, we shall not be derelict in our duty to justice. Come, Nashu, we must away! You don't even know what the bloody vase looks like! Maria, dear, listen, if it gets dangerous, or if you feel afraid, you run to this adventurer for help, you understand? Please be advised, the tiny rabbit is the responsible adult in this scenario. He is. A girl, what, run by earlier? Aye, I seen her. Had something in her hands, but dropped it while crossing the bridge. Didn't get a good look, but I reckon it don't matter any road. Whatever it was, it's long gone by now. A vase? Well, anything that falls in the water is like to be swept downstream fairly quickly. Does this have anything to do with that queer winged beast I saw earlier? No? Never mind then. How do you know it's sexual preference, sir? Flamboyant oath. A pox upon that thieving demon bird. He shall rue the day he cross paths with me. A vase? I know not of what you... curse this infernal refuse underfoot. Every point is a dagger. There's something in the water at the man's feet. Do I spy the treasured vase of Lady Drelita over? Oh dear. Does this belong to you, child? Forgive me, I was so engrossed in my search, I did not notice. Your search for what, pray tell? The demon bird that absconded with my weapon. I sat down, for but a moment, only to see it next in the talons of that accursed creature. I gave chase following these waters, and in my haste I must have stepped upon your vase. Don't fret, Maria, I know it looks bad, but I'm sure Inspector Hildibrand will think of something. Oh, but I already have my faithful assistant. Hearken to me now, for as the rising sun doth dispel the dark, so shall my solution resolve our dilemma. First, we must gather as many fragments of the vase as we can find. How could I have been so careless? Come to present your findings? Splendid, let's have a look. Well done, my friend. This should be more than sufficient for our needs. He has performed miracles with far less, after all. There's but one person in all of Eorzea capable of reconstructing this vase, a man whose skill with a hammer has brought rival goldsmiths low. So breathtaking are his works, so fearsome is his competitive spirit. This man is no mere goldsmith. You speak of him as if one would of a great warrior. Once a notorious gang of thieves perpetrated a series of robberies in Ul'dah, targeting establishments which sold luxury goods. One such spot was owned by a humble lapidary of whom I speak. His was the last shop the thieves struck, for the following morning they were found beaten, bound, and gagged in the gold court. The brass blades never learned who was responsible. Their only information they had was the testimony of a thief who kept muttering the words, "The hammer, the hammer." He sounds dangerous. He does, and I do so enjoy the company of dangerous men. For my manners, I have yet properly introduced myself. I am Gilgamesh, and that is my companion Enkidu. Well, not really. It has been many a moon since I last saw her, so to ease the burden of loneliness, I tamed a rooster and painted it green. In any case, you may search for your goldsmith, yes? If so, it would be my pleasure to help. Pleasure's mine, Gillian. Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, bid you welcome. If it is that hard to remember, I give you leave to call me Gil. Excellent suggestion, Greg. Playful monikers are an effective means of building camaraderie. Call me Hildy. For now, what I know of the goldsmith's propensity to procure his materials himself, I have deduced that he is most likely found in the vicinity of Blue Fog in northern Thanalan. It is there we shall begin our search. Yeah. Okay. Doblin's wounds indicate that he was felled with a hammer. A trail of bloody footprints leads to the north. I don't think it's been dead long. Maybe whoever did it was still around? This goldsmith is not to be trifled with. The basilisk's wounds indicate that it was felled with a hammer. Single blow to the head. Impressive. His handiwork's unmistakable. The corpse is still quite warm. The Doblin, the basilisk, this airman, all were slain with a hammer, as was the beast over yonder, unless I'm mistaken. That chimera must be his latest prize, which means he must still be about. Mayhap he is watching us this very moment, attempting to ascertain our intentions. He was ever a curious man when on the hunt. Alas, it comes to this. Though every fiber of my being cries out in rebellion, I must break my oath and do the unspeakable. What must you do that is so terrible? I must dance. Whatever Manderville can from the peaks of the court of Kurthus to Thanalan, Manderman, Manderville man. I'm gonna get the emote. I cannot avert mine eyes. That's the dance of House Manderville passed down from father to son. Where I perform within sight of our quarry, he would not be able to resist revealing himself. Alas, I neglected to properly stretch my legs beforehand. My good man, I see no other solution. You must dance in my stead. Though it be gross, nay, unconscionable violation of my family's traditions, I must bequeath to you the Manderville. Manderville man. Time has come for you to do it over only a Manderville can. We are as siblings now, my constant comrade, for I have shared with you the secrets of House Manderville. Now you must use that knowledge, go to the fallen chimera and dance like only a Manderville can. No, hammer. It's right in his nose. Fancy yourself a Manderville man? You would do what only a Manderville can, then lift your legs and put up your hands. Be a Manderville man. He comes. You have not to fear from me, not at all. The only accounts I came to settle are with the Chimera. But you would not, but you were not drawn here by some coincidence, were you? No, you came in search of me. Goldbert, why else would you gyrate your hips in such a gentlemanly fashion, if not that? More importantly, how in the hells did you learn the Manderville? If I did not teach you, then who? By the grace of Thal, what sorcery is this? He yet lives? Hildibrand held Maximilian Manderville. "10 years, Hildibrand. 10 years since you left home, and 5 since I learned of your trip to Dalamud. How long were you planning to allow your mother and father to suffer under the illusion that their beloved son was dead?" "Son? You're Hildy's father?" Goldsmith's a Manderville man. Smithing's only as a Manderville can. Oil him up, give him a tan, fit for a man, Manderville man. Please, father, cease your undulations at once. There are more pressing matters at hand. This antique vase must be made whole once more for the sake of Miss Maria. Do not worry, little one. I deal with worse cases before my morning bowel movement. Hold your applause until the end. Bragot, guide my hammer. Look how it sparkles in the twilight, how it radiates elegance. Would you all not agree it was a work of art? You've completely destroyed a part of this antique's historical value. Nonsense! I've taken a dull, unremarkable vase and transformed it into something far superior. I hope you were paying attention, Hildy. How long has it been since you last held a hammer? Father, that is not my path. I'm an agent of inquiry, an inspector. My duty to help those in need. Miss Maria is one such person. There are others, too. Innocent people whose weapons were callously ripped from their hands by a thieving duelist. I thought you had put away childish dreams. No matter, you will understand in due time. No, I will not! I'm Inspector, Father. I can be naught else. Mr. Goldberg, sir, I don't think my mother's gonna like what you did. She probably won't let Mr. Hildibrand help with the investigation. We cannot say for certain, can we? Mayhap she'll take a liking to this reimagining. You spoke of a thieving duelist, did you not? It so happens I am something of a duelist myself. If we were to cross paths with this fellow, I would welcome the opportunity to pit my skills against his Enkidu as well, I should think. I see you too possess a strong sense of justice. Full glad am I to have met you. Greg, now let us return to Vesper Bay and see how our vase is received. Vesper Bay, did you say? What a coincidence. I shall be traveling there on business once I have finished gathering materials. Oh, I think I might have seen the demon bird which took my weapon. Go on without me. I shall follow anon. I hope she likes it. If every component of an object were to be replaced, could the resulting object be fundamentally considered the same? Philosophers are unsure. Goldberg does not care. Mother, I brought you the vase. My gods, have you no shame? How dare you make my daughter complicit in your chicanery? I don't know where you found this gaudy trash, but it bears no resemblance whatsoever to the vase I purchased. See here, Lady Drulita. Not only did you send Maria to fetch your priceless vase alone, placing her in considerable danger should bandits and wild beast attack, which they did, but... Gaudy trash? Lord Manderville, sir, I did not realize you had arrived. Though I know nothing is compared to the lavish accommodations an esteemed gentleman as yourself must enjoy, I pray my humble abode meets with your satisfaction. I didn't realize that it was her that was talking. Oh, it does, my lady. It does indeed, especially that exquisite vase over yonder. Although I gather from your previous comments you do not like my reconstruction. Your reconstruction? I don't like it. I love it. I would go as far as to call the new centerpiece of my Thorn Dynasty collection. What a relief. I would have been most distressed if you'd said otherwise. We Mandervilles do so take pride in our work and ever strive for professional perfection. Oh, but why am I repeating what my son Hildibrand doubtless told you when he offered to investigate the duelist threats? Enough expository banter, I say. I cannot recall if your son used those precise words, but I do remember thinking that his help would be most welcome. You will be helping us, Inspector Hildibrand, would you not? Wait a minute, your father is Lord Golbert Manderville, the man who took Alone Quiveron's seat on the Syndicate? Elonde Quiveron's seat in the Syndicate? It appears there have been a great many developments over the past 10 years of which I was completely unaware. In any case, we must redirect our energies towards the investigation of the thieving duelist. Our first order of business will be to review all the facts with consenting Inspector Brady. I hope I did not speak over much earlier. My wife would describe it as a proclivity to pontificate, but I prefer to think of it as an earnest desire to establish a rapport with my fellow man. I think she likes it. Come, we have a thief to catch. Let us speak with our Inspector Briardane at once. Why are you still here? Allow me to elucidate. Lady Drelita has asked that we assist with the investigation. Now kindly share with us all your information. Fine. Our plans have advanced to a stage that even you couldn't ruin them anyway. I commissioned several reproductions of the Treaty Blade through a merchant, Jojompra, who traffics in counterfeit antiques. These blades have been delivered to the Observatorium, where they are being distributed amongst Lady Drelita's sellswords. Once they give the order, they will transport them via alternate routes to Vesper Bay. I think I get it. You're hiding the real transport with a bunch of decoys, right? They're all decoys. The moment the thief strikes, all our forces will converge on his location, including those disguised as small folk along each route. The real Treaty Blade will remain in the original owner's vault until the thief has been apprehended. Everything has been accounted for. You are all superfluous. Mayhap we could use more small folk to watch the roads in and out of the observatorium, assuming you have the capacity to conduct yourself in an unassuming fashion. Fear not, my fellow inspector, for I am a master of disguise. Have you any information regarding the duelist himself? A description? You never thought to ask Humphrey, did you? The thief is said to be a towering brute dressed in red who wields a halberd. Ah, a man so garishly dressed should be easy to find in snowy Kurthis. And I suppose we do not need your help after all, do we? Come or don't, I couldn't care less. Be seeing you. It was Gilgamesh. Pray forgive my lateness. Greg, my good man, what a pleasure to see you again. We just received new information regarding the weapon thief. The victim described as a halberd-wielding brute dressed in a ridiculous outfit. Ridiculous outfit? I am intrigued. What reasons would a warrior have for wearing such impractical clothing? What reasons indeed? It is enough to make a gentleman laugh. The face comment was still pretty cool. 3 collectors. Inspector Hildibrand would have you accompany him to Kurthis. Let me summarize our current plan of action. Our destination is in the observatorium, and our mission is to propose as good small folk, in accordance with Inspector Briardane's instructions. Naturally, should the situation demand improvisation, we are to disregard those instructions. Any questions? No? Let us sally forth at once. Hail to thee, fellow servant of justice. I take it you are one of the many tasked for transporting a counterfeit treaty blade? Clearly you've mistaken me for someone else, sir. At ease, Sergeant. They're with us, more small folk. Keep an eye on them, or else. But sir, I... Bugger me. Don't you bloody move until I get back. I say, is this land always so inhospitable? The biting winds, the endless snows. Mayhap keeping active will help me stay warm. Oh, and I should chance to find a thieving duelist. I shall, of course, summon you after administering the requisite beating. Good, you're still... Was there someone else here with you a moment ago? You speak of Greg. He ventured outside the gates moments before your arrival, full eager to catch the thief, as we are. Come, Nashu. We must answer the call of duty. You look like you might actually be useful. Why don't you have a word with my man near the east gates? We're undermanned over there. Any halberd wielding mummers shall answer to me. You see that just now? No? I don't think me eyes were playing tricks on me, but there's only one way to be sure. You wait here. Inspector, over there, look! What is it, Nashu? Pray tell me what you see. I see you, demon bird. You will not escape me this time. Why, hello there, my friends. Is aught amiss? It's just Greg. For a moment, I thought you might have spotted our thief. Come, Nashu. We have lingered here overlong. We must egress post-haste. Not out of the ordinary here. No luck, We have scoured every ilm of this area to no avail. I can only conclude that, having learned that his opponent would be the legendary Inspector Hildibrand, the duelist renounced his criminal ways and retreated into hiding. Or perhaps he is waiting patiently outside the walls for more wagons to leave. That being said, should you decide to venture into the wilderness, you had best arm yourself with more than your wits. I appreciate your concern, Miss Elaine, but a gentleman should abstain from violence unless absolutely necessary. I'll fight for you, Inspector. I even found a weapon to use. By the 12, it's the self-same spear which propelled me to the Red Moon. Wherever did you find it? It was buried in the snow. Well, I cannot ignore the will of destiny. Return it to me, Nashu. Though I will still endeavor to avoid fisticuffs, I will be duly armed should worst come to worst. Now then, we begin our search for the duelist east of the observatorium. Come now, how can we find hard to find a large man dressed in red clothes in Kurthis? Wherefore art thou, my nefarious nemesis? 'Twas not the selfsame creature, but one of many. Nevertheless, I know that my weapon is close by. You sense it too, don't you? Greg, I've been meaning to ask, why do you covet this weapon so? If you but beheld it, you would understand. In some ways, it bore a resemblance to a spear, but in other respects, it was quite different. It was crowned with magnificent axe blade, to which it was welded a musket barrel. It was one of the first weapons I had added to my collection after arriving in these lands. How I yearned to reclaim it. The strongest of spears. That weapon of yours bears a striking resemblance to the strongest of spears. I claimed this weapon 5 years ago. Surely you can't be that serious. Now you call me Shirley? No matter to me. Give it to me. This spear and I have traveled together to the very heavens. I will not relinquish it again. This spear and I have bested many a man together. I will not relinquish it again. And we are at an impasse. I can't believe I'm saying this, but well done, Inspector. Thanks to you, we've caught the weapon thief in the act. Miss Ale, you're grossly misreading our dispute. Greg is a good, honest man who I'm certain has never stolen a weapon in his life. Indeed, I have not. Every weapon I have claimed was by rights mine. Each was a trophy for besting my opponent in single combat. Believe that constitutes a confession. Seize him. Confession to what? I've done naught wrong. You are all beyond reason. Yes, my plan to secure Greg's confession was utterly flawless, and his capture will be the coup de grace. Well, my plan is thus far flawless. Griffin Crossing is still impassable. I know who you are, even if that imbecile doesn't, so let's not mince words. Only you have the skills to face the duelist in battle. Even so, your strength alone will likely not suffice. I suggest that you muster what allies you can. Nashu, Miss Ellie, my good man, it's a relief to hear your footfalls. As you have no doubtless deduced, I was unable to prevent Greg from escaping through the doors. I must leave the rest to you. Yes, it was I behind these doors the whole time. You took so long to arrive, I was getting worried you might have gotten lost. Long did I wonder what your role in this play was, a silent guardian content to watch events unfold with minimal interaction. At last, I understand. We were fated to duel, you and I. Best me and you can have the spear. Fail, and your weapons are forfeit. Fair terms, do you not think? I will even extend them to your allies. I grant you a leave to summon the others. After all, I will avail you no advantage. For Gilgamesh, it is in beginning time! Embiggened. Yeah, I hadn't realized that the Hildibrand quest has trials locked behind it. Battle on the big bridge now accessible. Okay. Oh no, let's do Sage. Orchard's correct. Yep. This quest requires the strongest of weapons. Notorious duelist Gilgamesh has long eluded authorities until now. Forced to take stand at the impassable Griffin Crossing, he has challenged you to a duel. Triumphant, you shall yield his lightest prize, but should you fail, your weapons will be forfeit. I still really like this robe. I don't like how it looks on bigger races, but it looks very good on my rabbit. Also hides the small neck very well. Oh! Can I can't kill. Okay.
Hi, how you feeling? Fighting all 8 of them. It's just too much for me. Not. Ha! I lied. I'm at you. Why, I've been had. I feel so great. Goodness gracious. I just remembered something.
I won't go down so easily. Gets limit breaks.
Well then. That's enough of a beating for now.
Polonian's still armed. In any case, he seems satisfied with the halberd. We will proceed with the delivery. How many swords did he drop? Well, wait, doesn't that one look just like Elazar's sword? Even to my untrained eye, this is obviously a counterfeit blade, and so is this one. And this one, what in the world? Are you dead again, Inspector? Greg, why? It is more magnificent than I imagined. It will make a fine addition to my collection. And with that, our business is concluded. Cheers. I genuinely mean that in your case, by the way. Also the Denzel, right, Inspector? Though it's a shame that Greg turned out to be a thief. There you are, Inspector Briardane. Why did you not wait for me at the docks? Why are you staring at me so? Never mind that. Where's my treaty blade? Didn't we just give you the treaty blade? Disguise yourself as the client and let the treaty blade come to you. Take advantage of an existing situation to distract us from the real crime. Brilliant. The man in red never spoke of the treaty blade, only the halberd. Moreover, he always issued his challenges in person. Dear gods, isn't it obvious? What's it like in your funny little brains? It must be so boring. If the man in red did not send the challenge, then who did? I believe this is addressed to me, condescending Inspector Bryardane. Piss off. 400 years I have slept, 4,000 faces do I wear. What is yours will be mine. I shall come to claim the Lapis Maiden's virtue. A many-faced phantom thief. Interesting. The design and the wording are the same as before. The thief who stole the treaty blade sent this. Very well, I, and I alone, Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, once more accept your challenge. You want a challenge? I'll stand and face me, you buffoon! How dare you all laugh at a time like this after allowing my precious treaty blade to be stolen? And you, Maria. Well, I suppose it is a little funny, isn't it? The two of them dashing to and fro, a pair of gentlemen mummers. You know, it's far too long since we've seen a show. We should head to the city later, just you and me. Not bad, Hildy. Not bad at all. You are indeed a Manderville man. Mark my face, O phantom of many faces, for it is the face of the... A dear friend lays claim to the fair maiden's virtue. The seeds of jealousy quicken within the inspector's soul. Can true love blossom on this battlefield? Will this Manderville man find his Manderville wife? A case of indecency. You know, some of the goggles men were wearing, they look special. Maybe if I ask nicely, they'll give me a pair. I guess we'll find out next time. Business of betrothal. Elia's put her skills to as a reporter to good use. There you are. I believe I've been doing some research on of my own since we last parted. I believe I found our Lapis Maiden. The girl's name's Arabella, daughter of Master Gugumeru, a prominent member of the East Aldenard Trading Company. Her eyes and hair is most exceptional shade of blue. Her beauty is the talk of the Sultanate. Her purported beauty, I should say. You see, none of us have actually seen the girl in the flesh. Apparently your father is the overprotective sort. Some say that the maiden has never set foot outside the family's well-guarded estate. But all this is about to change. Rumor has it the girl is to be wed, and not just anyone, mind you, to the heir of the Brugere Consortium. The formal announcement is set to be made at a commemorative feast, so to be jointly hosted by the two families' businesses. The venue is Costa del Sol, where preparations are going on as we speak. Word on the street is that the bride-to-be will make a rare public appearance. It is here the thief intends to strike. I couldn't be more certain of it. Piqued your interest, have I? My sources tell me the bride's father is already in Costa del Sol overseeing preparations. This is the scoop I'm not gonna miss. You're welcome to come along. This is Master Gugurimu of the East Aldenar Trading Company, father of the bride. Let's see what he can tell us. You're not one of my associates. This banquet was for invited guests only. If you have no business here, be on your way at once. Beg pardon, good sir. My name's Ellie, a reporter for the Mithril Eye. If I might have just a moment of... Ah, yes, that two-gill sensationalist rag. I read your tiresome screed about the self-styled phantom thief and his letter of challenge. If you've come to tell me my daughter is in danger, I can assure you that your concern is entirely unwarranted. I have not kept Arabella safe to this day to see her whisked away from me by some fly-by-night rogue. I have spared no expense in securing the best protection for that money can buy. The brass blades of Gerba, the elite unit of the most lethal swordsmen in the Sultanate, they say that one of them caused a man's heart to burst just by looking at him askance. The moment they set eyes on their would-be thief will be his last. If the thief is obliging enough to show himself to be seen, or do these goggles serve some purpose other than making the wearer look utterly ridiculous? Consulting Inspector Briardine, your reputation precedes you. And what, pray tell, would you propose? I have promised some of the wealthiest men in the realm that my daughter will be attending the festivities. To renege on my word would have dire implications for the family trade. My proposal is a simple one. Entrust the investigation to me. The thief will be in shackles before the banquet commences, and it will cost you not a whit of your precious gil. Very well, let us see if your reputation is deserved, but consider yourself warned. The greater fortunes than you will ever know hinge upon this banquet. I will not tolerate any disturbances. Such touching concern for his coin purse, if only he could muster the same for his daughter. But do tell, Inspector, after he slipped out from under our noses last time, what makes you so confident that you can catch our thief this time around? Our man may boast 1,000 faces, but he has a single modus operandi, and it's painfully obvious. A letter of challenge, a precious treasure whisked away from its rightful owner in the broad of daylight. This tells me that our thief is an attention seeker with supreme confidence in his abilities. Doubtless he means to target the maiden using the selfsame methods he used to abscond with the treaty blade. Even now, the fiend is in our midst, having assumed the identity of someone who will be in close proximity to Mistress Arabella at the feast. I've already narrowed the field. Arabella's betrothed, Vans, would be an obvious target for our thief, so too would his father, Morgrant. Yalto Nolto's wife, Sayana, and the guests of honor will give a toast to the couple's happiness. Both will be standing close to the stage where the bride-to-be is set to appear. Needless to say, we cannot rule out Gugurimu himself. Finally, we have Lewenhart, steward of Gugurimu's estate, and Miss Arabella's personal attendant. All the key players, save for the Lapis Maiden herself, have assembled in Costa del Sol. Doubtless the Phantom Thief lurks among them, and his face concealed, gathering information and planning his course of attack. We will begin our questioning of the suspects immediately. Should you encounter any suspicious individuals, you are to report back to me at once. Hildibrand Vanderville, I could smell the stench of idiocy and incompetence from a mile away. The pleasure's all mine, contriving Inspector Briardine. Forgive me for not revealing myself sooner. I was simply conducting a bit of preliminary undercover investigative work. Yet to see through my ingenious disguise with such ease. Yes, I dare say your powers of observation rival even my own. Fear not, friends. I, Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, have arrived to defend the maiden's honor as only a Manderville man can. He does realize there's still a fish on his head, doesn't he? Good Inspector, I realize that we have not seen eye to monocle in the past, but a fair maiden's virtue, mayhap her very life, is at stake from one gentleman to another. Let us put aside our differences. Yes, I would welcome your assistance in this case. Me assist you? Aren't you a funny man? It makes no matter. My plan is so flawless that not even your bungling can interfere with it this time. If you wish to assist me, you may do so by keeping watch over the suspects. In the meantime, I have a promising lead to investigate. I shall return before the banquet begins. While I know I may be asking much, do try not to do anything stupid in my absence, will you? I would speak with you, but not here. I will be waiting for you outside Costa del Sol. Come quickly, we do not have the luxury of time. Come, excellent. With that buffoon suitably distracted, we can get you to more important matters. Before we proceed, what might I call you? An unremarkable name, but it will suffice. Now answer me this, Mavic. You were there when the Phantom Thief in the guise of Lady Drelita... I don't know how I'm supposed to pronounce the name. Drelita? Stall for the Treaty Blade. Were there anything about our foe's disguise that struck you as particularly noteworthy? The identical appearance. The obvious answer, and yet all too many. A certain self-styled gentleman comes to mind. Could not recognize a clue if it hit them outside the face. Your observation is astute. A thorough inspection of the mask left behind at the scene reveals a tiny prism sewn into the fabric. It is this stone that allows him to change appearances at will. Clearly our man is no ordinary thief. Magic's far outside the grasp of the common folk are at his disposal. This, in and of itself, gives us insight into his identity and his ways. And yet, this is not what caught my eye. No, from the movement and mannerisms, that utterly obnoxious personality, the thief did not merely look like Lady Drelita, he was her. Such a feat could not be accomplished by magical trickery alone. We are dealing with a clever and thorough criminal. Not content to rely on his ample powers of disguise, he studies his targets closely before assuming their identities. He emulates them utterly and completely, that not even their closest friends or family could detect their aught as amiss. All the key players arrived in Costa del Sol 3 days ago when the preparations for the banquet began. This would afford our thief more than enough time to study his would-be target. And yet, some disguises are more challenging than others. Put yourself in the mind of our Phantom, Mavic. If you were the thief, whose identity would you first assume? I think a brass blade, probably. Precisely. Clearly you are far yet less useless than that bumbling inspector whose company you keep. Strong in number, few of words, able to come and go as they please, a fearsome reputation to scare away anyone who would dare draw near enough to realize something was amiss. An ideal entry into Costa del Sol for our man. Deducing as much, I made a point to question brass blades in the area. Little to my surprise, I learned that there was one man who had not been seen in his favorite alehouse for the past 3 days. Our thief has not made a habit of wanton murder. Doubtless the poor man is lying naked in a ditch not far from here. In addition to general security duties, each of these brass blades has been seen assigned to serve as a bodyguard for one or more of the guests. If this man can't tell us of his assigned charge, like as not his answer will reveal the current identity of our thief. Our thief would not have had time to carry the unconscious man far. I will canvass the immediate area. You begin your search in the outskirts of Costa del Sol. Excellent. You're one of the less incompetent assistants I've worked with. Thank the gods for you in these chains before the snippers eat me alive. There, now tell me all that you can remember about what happened to you, and try to be brief. We just arrived in Costa del Sol, had a briefing of sorts with Master Gugurimu, gave each of us our orders we'd be looking after the like, had a mind to tour the area, get my bearings. Next thing I knew, I was thwacked on the back of my head. When I come to, I was stripped to my skivvies. Much to the chagrin of those of us who have a look at you. You say you received orders from Master Gugurimu, who was to be your charge. Memory's hazy, but it was Mogfint, the father of the groom. The other was a Lalafellan gent from Limsa. Yalto Nolto. Now try your best to remember. Were there any other guests with whom you were ordered to interact? Come to think of it, yes. There was also the steward, Lewinhart. I was to review him on with the schedule of events and discuss protection of key supplies, that sort of thing. Morgrant, Yalto Nolto, and Lewinhart. Thank you. For an incompetent fool, your testimony has proved astonishingly enlightening. I shall see this man back to the city in due possession of some new clothes, after which I shall return to Costa del Sol to continue the investigation. Go on ahead of me, and for the love of the gods, just make sure that imbecile doesn't cause too much trouble in my absence. Inspector Briardane seems to have taken a liking to you. You should be proud. As you can see by his treatment of someone who we know, the man doesn't suffer fools lightly. There you are, friend, and not a moment too soon, for I was about to commence my investigation in earnest. Tell me, did you and the Inspector Briardane's avenue of inquiry bear any fruit? Morgrant, Yalto Nolto, and the steward Lewinhart, you say? That does not surprise me. Yes, I consider them all exceptionally suspicious from the start. With the Lapis Maiden in danger, we cannot afford a moment's delay. I, Hildibrand, shall have our thief in shackles before the Inspector returns. Fear not, friend. The Inspector shall be none the wiser. If he had hoped to nab the fiend for himself, he should not have simplified the task for me so. There's just one of our suspects standing suspiciously under the canopy over there. Just you wait, fiend. I shall rip the mask from your face and reveal you for the rogue that you are. All I have done to raise Arabella to a beautiful young woman has been in anticipation of this day. I've never been more proud to call myself her father. I'm Vance, chairman to the Brigadier Court Consortium, and who exactly were you again? I'm sorry, I just realized I don't particularly care. The lucky father, the groom-to-be, or the fiend who would sully the maiden's virtue. In a matter of moments, all shall be revealed. Stand back, friend. The man we pursue is a criminal mastermind. The merest slip of the tongue could put our case, nay, our very lives, in danger. But have no fear, Mr. Ellie. Ready your quill, that you might record my every word, as I employ the time-honored art of parley, handed down from Manderville men of agents past to reveal our foe. I can think of a few topics that would interest my readers. I could think of few topics that would interest my readers less than your blatherings. Can you catch the thief so I can have my story? Would you? Don't worry, Inspector. I brought my quill and journal, too. Your adoring fans won't miss a word. Capital. This is why you're my favorite assistant, Nashu. Now, behold, as I ensnare our prey with a web of words leading to his inevitable demise. Good evening, Master Gugurimu. A fine evening it must be for you. Most of all, allow me to offer my most heartfelt congratulations on your betrothal to the enchanting Miss Arabella. What's this nonsense? Arabella is my daughter. You just... Who in the seven hells are you anyway? Guards? Guards! Now, old your chocobos, Gugurimu. I recognize this lad. This is Hildibrand, agent of inquiry and inspector extraordinaire. Come to save lovely lass from the clutches of the phantom thief, have ya? I reckon we owe you, the man our gratitude, eh, Vans? The phantom thief? Balderdash and rot, if you ask me. That said, my betrothed must be quite the beauty indeed to have such rumors about her. Perhaps she's worthy of me after all. He exudes an unusual degree of confidence for such an effete fashion-challenged youth. Most suspicious. He's a damn sight easier on the eyes than you. That's me, Vans, ever calm in the face of danger, truly is his father's son. A worthy heir to the Brigadier Consortium and a worthy match for my daughter, I must say. Yes, I foresee many years of prosperity for our families. Our family, if I should say so. Which reminds me, Master Vans, Arabella asked me to convey her gratitude to you from the golden clasp you sent months ago. It has not left her neck since that day. Oh, that little trinket, 'twas nothing. Tell your daughter the greatest treasure in the realm will be hers once we are wed. Time out of Mandeville art of parley. We've been sleeping with the fishes for now, had Margaret not spoken on your behalf. That said, nothing about the interactions between the three struck me as particularly unusual. Let us not rush to the conclusions, Mistress L. A gentleman fancies more methodical approach. Yes, everything is proceeding according to my master plan. I was supposed to be taking that down, wasn't I? Everything is proceeding according to my master plan. How about Keikaku, which means plan? I sought only to earn the trust of the families before confronting Yalto, Nolto, and Lewinhart, who've aroused my suspicion from the start. Come, we have a thief to apprehend. Renting out Master Gajuru's private property would be an almost unthinkable for most folk, but Gil talks, and neither the Brigadier Consortium nor the East Aldnar Trading Company are in danger of running their coffers dry. Oh, how I am looking forward to meeting Mrs. Arabella. They say many a song is sung of her beauty. Mind you, there was a song sung of me, or two sung of me in my day. Yalto, Noto, and Lewinhart, one of the two wears a mask, but which? With a few words, all will be revealed. I've not seen your faces around here. With the East Aldar Trading Company, are ye? Why, yes, good sir. Very much with them. Some might even say we are the East Aldar Trading Company. Pleasure to meet you. Do tell, is the Lapis Maiden as lovely as they say? Sienna here is no slouch herself, but like me, she's getting on in years. No offense, my dear. Oh, where are my manners? Yalto Nolto, the Brigadier Consortium, and this is my wife, Sinana. I've been saying Sienna. Sinana. I look forward to many profitable dealings with you and yours in the moons and years to come. I dare say this wedding and the joining together of the family business couldn't be happen in a better time. What will all manner of fell beasts and beastmen take an aim at our wares? Why, just the other day, a shipment of imported foodstuffs was waylaid by the Mandragoras. Nasty buggers, the lot of them. If I were 20 years younger, I'd dice them up myself and make a salad out of... You have heard of the Mandragoras, have you? But of course, I once spent a year honing my body and mind with the Fist of Ralger. My fellow monks and I would chat several hundred mantra whatsits a day. And your food stores were occasionally raided by the ruthless band of rogue vegetables known as Mandragoras, yes? Would it kill you to read the Mithril Eye and educate yourself from time to time? Fearsome lot they are. Rumor has that they'll not rest until every fruit or vegetable harvested from consumption has been freed from captivity. Why, they struck at the larder here just 3 days ago. Our supplies were decimated. Fear not, milady. I was able to arrange for an emergency shipment to replace the stolen produce. It arrived safely some time ago. Settle down, Sinana. Forgive my wife. She's always saying how meat is bad for her figure. And what with that, I'd best go prepare me a speech. Carry on, lads. Criminy. None of these three were suspicious in the least. But we must not give up hope, lest he of many faces have the last laugh. Where there's a will, a gentleman shall find a way. Come, Nashu, we must move quickly, or this Lapis Maiden shall not be the only one to come to harm. You speak so fast, Inspector. The sign of a quick mind, I'm sure. Now, where was I? Give up hope. The last of he of many faces will laugh last. The Lapis Maiden shall not be the only one to come to harm. I'm not sure that captures the Inspector's intended meaning. But this is no time for us to be standing around. Inspector Briardane will be back any moment now, and he's not the type to suffer excuses. Quite so, Mr. Selly. Fortunately, I have a plan. Let us investigate the foodstuffs of which Master Lewinhart spoke. Should we find any contradictions in his testimony, we can consider the man a prime suspect. Inspector Briardane will be back before long. Come, Nashu, this is no time to delay. Look at this, now there's water, now there isn't. Now there's water. Some of these coconuts don't look like coconuts. Crates must contain the foodstuff which Master Lewenhart spoke. At a glance, they did not appear particularly suspicious, but our investigation must not be deterred. Yeah, some of these are bombs. Crates of assorted foodstuffs and a veritable host of luscious-looking coconuts. It appears our man Lewenhart spoke true. Ye gods! Are those explosives I spy concealed amongst these coconuts? Perhaps I spoke in haste. It would appear that we have found our phantom thief after all. Those are mine, Inspector. I was looking for a place to set them down, don't you see? And those coconuts were looking awfully lonely. Nashu, far be it from me to cast doubt on your choice of hobbies, but what in the name of the 12 would possess you to bring your creations to an investigation? Well, they were helpful in jogging your memory that one time, and I just thought, does this mean you won't be needing up this piece of driftwood either? Your enthusiasm is always admirable, Nashu, but in this event I fear it's somewhat misdirected. Now, set the driftwood down over there and concentrate on taking notes like the astute assistant you are. I say we are most fortunate that confounding Inspector Briardane is otherwise occupied at the moment. Were he to chance upon the scene, he would veritably explode in rage. Now let us dispose of these things before the errant ember sends us all to a fiery demise. Confounding Inspector Briardane, explode, fiery demise. Got it. Are you sure about that? Uh-oh. Don't look now, but someone has returned at the absolute worst possible time. You two are supposed to be keeping an eye on the suspects and staying out of trouble, yes? The inspector will have a fit if he sees you here. Mistress Ellie, should Inspector Briardane come upon these explosives, the consequences will be even more dire. Nabic and I will see the inspector keeps a wide berth at this beach. You two just get out of here and be quick about it. Quick thinking, Mistress Ellie. Come, Nashu. We shall return for your creations once Inspector Briardane has been led safely from the scene. Investigation calls us. We must heed its cry. All we have to do is lure him away from those crates. That shouldn't be too difficult, right? So, Hildibrand's managed thus far not to destroy anything. Consider me something almost resembling impressed. Indeed, but enough about Hildibrand. Nabic and I have been waiting to hear your latest theories. We should go somewhere quiet and... An excellent idea, Mr. Selene. Ah yes, that spot over there by the crate should suffice. There, of all places, but surely we could find somewhere more scenic. I'm not here on vacation. I am here to solve a case. Besides, we cannot afford to have our conversation overheard. That junk litter beach should afford us with some welcome privacy. Yes, Inspector. Privacy indeed. Bloody hells, don't worry. I'll figure out some way to lead him clear of the bombs. Is it just me, or is there a bit of chill in the air? Perhaps we should go someplace warm. I, for one, welcome our respite from the sweltering heat. Besides, this will not take long. If you insist, Inspector. thorough questioning of a brass blade attacked by our quarry, I have identified 3 individuals most likely to be our thief in disguise. To wit, Morgrant, Yalta, Noto, and Lewenhart. All 3 of us shall split up, with each of us keeping watch over... Are the 2 of you listening? Of course we are! Beg your pardon, Inspector. You look unwell, Mr. Shelley. Perhaps you are right. I, too, feel a chill wind blowing in. Mayhap we should continue our conversation elsewhere. But there is no need. Wait here and I shall build us a fire. Methinks the inspector has taken leave of his senses. The chance of locating a suitable kindling in these barren shores is infinitesimal. Here we are, just a piece of driftwood served perfectly. As our fortune would have it, I just happen to have flint and stone on my person. There's no cause for alarm. 'Tis not blood that courses through the infector's veins, but ice. I could not fathom a series of events that would lead such a calm and composed individual to lose his firm grip on that fiery torch. Remarkable insight, Mr. Inspector. I record these words for posterity. Ah, it's flying! What have we here? Everything is proceeding according to my master plan. Could this be another challenge from the fiend? Surely you jest, Inspector. It looks nothing like his usual cards. See, doubtless it's just idle ravings of some madman. Perhaps so, but you must exercise due caution. Ah, there are 2 more pages. Give up hope. He of many faces will laugh last. It's not the lapis maiden alone that shall come to harm. It is more direct than the previous challenges, but there can be no doubt as to the sender. But who is the talk of this? What is this talk of another victim? The final page holds the answer, no doubt. The final page? Confounding Inspector Briardine will meet a fiery demise. She's just really bad at taking notes. saw right through that fiend's ruse. But how? I'll just call it a reporter's intuition. Are you hurt? I'm ringing in my ears, but otherwise no worse for the wear. You have my gratitude. Hildibrand Manderville, were you attempting to learn aught of the fiend who made this ignoble attempt on my life? Exhausted every effort, Inspector, yet I fear our quarry proves ever elusive. Excellent. I might have died in the shock if you had. At any rate, our foe has revealed himself as no mere thief, but a madman who will resort to cold-blooded murder. We must redouble our vigilance, lest others come to harm. Vigilance. Yes, vigilance is the order of the day. What in the name of the gods? Those teeth, those vegetables cost a fortune, and they're ruined! Ruined! Agent of inquiry, more like agent of injury and incompetence. You are to replace the supplies that you destroyed before the banquet begins, or I will see the entire lot of you rot in jail. His cabbages, yeah! Clearly, our thief has decided from my prodigious intellect presents the greatest threat to his schemes. Perhaps he is more clever of a man than I thought. Thanks to our quick, wise thinking, the bombs are no more, and the inspector is none the wiser. 'Tis a shame to see good food go to waste, though. Those coconuts look positively luscious. I would ask how he survived an explosion at point-blank range, but something tells me that's one more mystery better left unsolved. Is that a fish? I'm getting hungry. Speaking of hungry, I'm also hungry, and I've got to get to work pretty soon, so I should be wrapping up here. Let's see. Oh, there's a bunch of previews for the next Magic set happening right now. Who do I toss things over to? Let me see. I'm gonna go to Final Fantasy XIV category and see if there's anybody new I can toss things over to. Nope. I don't know. I might just let my auto host take it. Or maybe actually, I like this person's avatar. We're gonna go raid Beast the Sheep. Raid message, you found the missing persons. If you're on YouTube, twitch.tv/Beast the Sheep. Thank you for hanging out. I will see you guys tomorrow, maybe? It really depends. I've been playing 14 with some friends online after work, and it's led to me going to bed later, which has led to me wanting to sleep in more. But I'm going to try and get back on my early stream schedule. Until next time, though, I'll be seeing y'all.